we're going to try to, and that's not a good sign. What's happening, guys? This is Saturday. We're not really doing much today. We just noodled around in the garage a bit. I was actually doing a patio in the backyard. For those that are new to the channel, I rebuilt the 71 Camaro. I got everything done except when I found out that this rear end is an 8.2. It's an open diff. I wanted to get at least an 8.5. I know everybody's saying a 12 bolt, but I'm just going to put a 10 bolt 8.5 in it with a posi. So I'm in the process right now of rebuilding a rear end. I've never done it before. We'll go through a recap of what's been done up to this point. First thing I've done is I've actually cleaned up the carrier, all the shims and everything, got everything accounted for. Then I've taken off the carrier bearings, pulled them off, pressed them off. Installed and put together the carrier, clutch packs, new S spring. I then pressed on the new bearings on the carrier. A 8.5 rear end that had no spring perches on it, and I located and I established where the spring perches had to be installed, and I welded them in. I then began to tear down the rear end, pulling out the rear seals and the rear axle bearings, getting those out. I drove out the pinion races, the inner and the outer. I reinstalled the new pinion races. I then focused my attention on the pinion. I had to establish pinion depth on the rear end. So I found out what I needed for shims to get my pinion depth correct. I made checker bearings, which is essentially a bearing that you hog out the center so it slides easily up and out over the pinion without being pressed on and pressed off. I cleaned up and painted the axles, the shafts, or the plates. And now we're at the point where we're going to start putting stuff back together. I made a tool today. It ain't the greatest, but it might be effective. I think it's going to be effective. There's a lot of people, a lot of videos I've been watching. The guys that are holding back on this thing, it's a bear. So what I did is I got some angle iron. It's 1/4 inch thick. It's structural steel. It's really heavy duty stuff. I got some grade A 1/2 inch bolts. I welded a 1 inch black steel coupling. I have a 2-foot section of black steel pipe, schedule 40. So we're going to use this as a holder wrench so we can start setting our preload on our bearings. And we're going to start checking for a contact pattern. I am in the process of waiting for marking compound, which I ordered, which didn't come in. And I'm a little pissed off about that. So it was supposed to be in today. Now it's coming in Wednesday. So you can use white lithium grease. I've seen guys do that, but I'd rather just do it with the yellow marking compound. It seems like it shows better and there's no guesswork. So we're at that point. So we're going to stop doing this rear end. In the next coming videos, the couple of videos, we're going to start actually testing and setting our preload on our pinion bearings. They spec for the GM 8.5. They spec 14 to 19 inch-pounds on the preload. So on your beam style torque wrench, you want to be between 9 and 14 inch-pounds, which is when you start turning that dial either should be within the parameters of 9 or 14 to get that pinion to spin. And also on the backlash, which is essentially it's the movement of the gear between the pinion and the ring gear, between the teeth. They want that between 3 and 6 thousandths, no more, no less. They don't want that too loose. So that's what they spec on the GM 8.5. That has to be done with the dial indicator after we get everything set up. But this is just a heads up how far I've been, where I'm going. Hopefully we'll get this done. And I have some good news. The state of Massachusetts took my money and they will issue me a new title within 4 to 6 weeks. Everything has been approved and we're just going to be waiting for that to come in the mail, and we can get Bubba rolling on the road. So this is Mark from the Second Gen. A little recap of what's been done, and what's going to happen next is a lot more crazy shit. Be well, be safe. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.